Okay, and I'll start my recording.
And then we gotta do a sync clap.
Okay, old man Justin.
Oh, that actually hurt to do.
That sounded a lot like Gus Johnson's old man when he did the James Cameron video.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that hard. You just kind of suck in air.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't hurt your throat right before we talk in length about a show.
What? It's a video podcast.
My old man voice goes something like this.
You have more of a D&D old man voice.
Yes, a very wise old sage.
I sound like I have had several cigarettes.
Okay. That's enough of that.
I think you've had a little more than several. I think you've actually eaten 3 packs in a row.
I eat cigarettes.
Okay, that's enough of that.
I told you to stop. I told you to stop. Jesus.
Well, no, I haven't exhaled at all, so I'm just like trying to force more air in where it can't go.
I just love. I just broke at the end. God. All right. Well, I'm entertained. Warning. We are about to spoil Black Lagoon Season 2. If you haven't seen the show, or you plan on watching it, then click away. But if you've already seen it, or you just don't care, then please continue listening, though do watch it, it's really good.
What if we talk in old man voices and say we don't have a joke?
I mean, I could keep that up. I'm worried about your throat.
We don't have a joke today, ladies and gentlemen, so we're just going to the intro.
It took us so long to come up with a joke. We've aged by 60 years.
But we'll be younger when the podcast starts.
Yeah, that's a shit joke. Let's go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Cinema Roulette. I don't think we have anything to say leading into it, but yeah, this is part 2 of our Black Lagoon review. One of me and Justin's favorite shows ever. Do you have anything to say?
I just wanted to see how long I could stay quiet before you question it.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome to Black Lagoon. The Second Barrage is what I meant to say, but my brain forgot the and then I realized it forgot the and then it went back to fix it.
Nice. That was actually a really in-depth and good explanation of what your thought process was, surprisingly.
My teachers say I'm good at that when I'm explaining why I'm a terrible student.
But all of a sudden, when it comes time to learning, no, of course, that's when you have to freeze up.
Well, it's not my fault. I chug liquid nitrogen for fun.
I mean, we all have our,
God, where
vices.
are we starting with this?
I don't fucking know.
No.
We should probably just start with the synopsis, make it nice and easy.
Oh, sure, we're keeping that part in.
What part?
Don't do that to me.
What would you rather start over?
No, it's just you said what part, like it was out, so I was like, don't do this.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. I swear that was unintentional this time.
Oh, it's so weird. Yeah, I guess we'll do what we did last time and cover the arcs real quick. Yeah. Well, hold on, wait, do we have any more fucking banter for the beginning of this?
I don't know. Do you want to make more banter? Do you want to just talk?
We went really quickly. I don't know. Hold on.
Okay. What? Do we have a specific length of banter quota that we
I
have
don't know.
to
We
fill?
just usually have a set bit of banter, right?
I know.
It hurts me in a way.
I don't want to hurt you. I mean, we can banter more if you like.
I like bantering with you.
I mean, I do too, man. I'm not trying.
Welcome to the podcast.
I'm trying to hurt you.
You know, last time. You didn't even like banter at all with whatever fucking movies between these. But
If you hadn't laughed in between it, I might have been able to take that
No,
crying
that was-
seriously. Okay.
but now you're saying I'm laughing. God, ew.
What did you do?
I'm great at fake crying, so there's some snoot,
Damn, nice. Yeah, so
right? Oh, that got me out of so much trouble in elementary school.
you
Here's
were
a tip, kiddies who are watching for some reason a podcast on Black Lagoon. You probably shouldn't. If you really want to get out of a really long detention, just fake cry.
Wow, even back then you were a devious fucking person.
Oh no! Well, no, I cried really easily when I was a kid. Like any sort of pressure would make me start to cry. And then I kind of realized if you just play it up a bit more, you get more sympathy.
And this was the start of Justin's personality.
Oh no, that was in middle school.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest. Who really liked middle school? Really? Come on.
Usually the assholes whose lives kind of suck now.
Yeah.
Okay, we are completely off topic.
Yeah, we are.
But no, I was gonna say with this season, I don't know if I like it more than season 1 as a whole.
It's hard.
It is.
You want to go ahead?
It is more of a roller coaster than season 1 because we talked about this after seeing through the first arc.
Yeah, because
I would go.
we okay.
I'll let you go. You talk.
You'll let me go. The I think this is what you're going for. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but fucking it's hard because it's kind of structured a little differently because the first season has more of like a constant solid tone throughout it. Like it's fun, but it knows where to sprinkle in serious moments. This arc kind of starts out completely tonally different, but then it does kind of find its place, and then throughout the rest of the season, you're right, it is just kind of a roller coaster of emotions and themes and different kinds of things. It's an arguably darker season than the first. It deals with heavier shit.
Another way I compare it is like both are fun roller coasters, but one is like a starter roller coaster where there's ups and downs, but it's still very gradual. In this one, it's a much more extreme roller coaster of like ups and downs, and you're speeding through these hills.
Yeah, because the thing about it is that this goes to darker places. This deals with heavier themes, and it has a more serious tone throughout a lot of it. And I don't know, like you said, I still haven't decided whether I like the two completely tonally different arcs we start out with.
And I don't know if I should save this for. I think I'll save it for after we summarize
save it for after we
why
summarize.
I think there's these such harsh tones.
Because the first one is a very serious, very fucked up, very almost horror-like arc, and the second one is completely tonally different. It's just most of the time a fun romp. It's strange.
Most of the time, a what?
Like a fun romp. With
I thought you were going to say a fucking joke.
No, just a lot of comedy through. Oh, I mean, you do see a romp a lot, technically, but I mean... There's your joke. Oh, that got 6 or 7 claps. Nice.
Yeah, I'm going to subtract that to your slap tap.
Okay. But
anyway,
you were saying, sorry.
No, I think we can get to the summary because first up is the Vampire Twins.
Yeah, start
with. No, go on. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, starting things off with a fucking punch to the face.
Actually, a fun thing is in one of my Discord groups, someone was seeing through Black Lagoon. They got to this arc and they just kind of went to the main chat and were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I didn't even realize I did this. Starts out with a punch in the face.
Does it?
No, it doesn't. A figurative punch in the face, not a literal.
Oh,
punch in the
okay.
face.
I was like, well, yeah, the first season started with one, so
Yeah.
that'd be kind of cool.
No,
You know,
it was-
sort of
This was more of a
symmetry.
figurative, like, punch or slap in the face. Like, here's a dark, starting out dark. Boom.
Yeah, okay, so in this arc, two mercenaries, let's say, are going through Roamper and just killing everyone. Like, I think they're mainly going for, aren't they going for Moscow?
Hotel Moscow, yeah.
And these two mercenaries are children. One of them with a big-ass machine gun, the other with hatchets.
Yeah.
So it's Cameron's worst fear, scary children.
I don't even think we've mentioned that on there, have we?
We haven't, but we have now.
There's an ongoing joke between me and Justin where
It's not a joke. Cameron just
it's
wanted to admit
it's
it.
a joke. Fucking where I mentioned one incident where two children kind of freaked me out. I was working at a Halloween store and there was this woman pushing a cart with two, like one of those double baby carts. And I look over and I'm like, oh, babies, whatever. And fucking, they just slowly, at the exact same time, slowly turn their heads and just stare me down. And it freaked me out. And so I told them this, and now it's, of course, we're just like, Cameron's afraid of children.
Cameron's worst fear is the Omen.
It is not.
It is. Don't. If we ever do live meets at some point, do not bring us copies of the Omen. Cameron will have to go to the bathroom and cry.
I'm debating whether or not we should even do the Omen, since all you're gonna do is make fun of me throughout it.
I think that's great reason to do the Omen.
I thought the first one was okay. I don't know about.
I've never seen any of the Omens, actually.
I saw the first one. First one was okay. I don't know how the other ones are. They probably all suck, but
I only know of the hanging scene.
yeah. This is all for you, Damien. Anyways, we're horribly off topic again, so let's keep
No, we're still on scary
I
children.
guess,
We're
yeah,
at least
but-
slightly more on topic.
Yeah. But yeah, these two fuckers are intentionally scary, I should say.
These two are going around killing people, and it turns out, because all the main gangs get together and they're like, okay, who the fuck is doing this, and we need to stop them.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's Hotel Moscow, Chang, so the Yakuza.
No, triads.
Or
not
triads.
Yakuza.
Sorry, you're right. Triads are Chinese, Yakuza's Japanese.
Yep.
And who else is there? Because there's
Colombians?
There's one!
Even though they're supposed to be dead?
no. I find it funny because there was one Colombian, the boss. That's it.
Yeah, there was one Colombian, and there was the one guy who betrayed everyone, who might have been Irish?
I forget what nationality they were supposed to be.
He was dead. He was red shirt.
Yeah, basically, he was a red shirt from Star Trek. Yes.
Because we find out that these... Okay. You know, I usually don't feel we need... I feel like, you know, people are adults enough to understand whatever the hell we're talking about. But this arc gets really fucking dark.
Yeah, I think we do need like a
So I'm
disclaimer.
giving a bit of a warning before I explain the kid's backstory here.
Yeah, their backstory is dark and fucked up, and this is a very adult content warning here. So if you're squeamish,
If you don't want to hear... okay, we're saying children and things get dark. You can probably mentally
Yeah.
imply what we're about to mention. So you might, if you don't really want to hear that, you might want to skip ahead
Yeah.
like 5 minutes.
well, I'll put a time stamp on it. It's like, okay, so if you don't want to hear it, skip ahead this timeline. There, boom. So
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Even for us, that's real. It gets really fucked up.
Yeah, it's just uncomfortable to even
Mhm.
mention. But okay, so because while Hotel Moscow is setting up to take out these kids, what is Lagoon Company doing again?
The Lagoon Company, because the whole everything.
No, there's a huge bounty on
Yes.
the kid's head.
What I was going to say, yeah, because Hotel Moscow or whatever, the gangs, they put up a bounty on their head, and Revy and Edda go to chase it down. And Edda, I
And
think,
Rock's there because he's kind of dragged around by Rev.
yeah, he was dragged, or was he dragged around by Edda? I forgot. He was one of the two.
No, Edda drags him around next arc.
Okay, that's why I'm confusing it. But yeah,
He was
Revy-
kind of their getaway driver here.
Yeah, basically all he is a getaway driver. But yeah, they're there for the huge bounty on their head. basically.
And so that's what all Lagoon Company and the rest of the state is looking for these two kids. And we find out these two kids were in an orphanage and then sold basically to the most horrible people in the world. They got beaten. They were implied to be raped, basically, and they were forced to fight other children in matches to the death.
And they show this.
They don't show it explicitly,
but it's enough.
They show enough to make you uncomfortable, to say the least.
Because they show her like in a dark room just crying, and it just fucking heart-wrenching.
They're called Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, correct.
Well,
and
I'll refer to them as that.
And then they just talk about what happened, and then they show them both literally naked, covered in like blood, and there's blood all over the fucking. It's just fucked up.
And it mentally broke them to the point where they are unstoppable killing machines.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they're not unstoppable. It just takes a whole city to kill them.
It takes the entire Russian mafia army.
Yeah. That's what they are. They're not just a mafia. They're a mafia army.
They're an army.
They're an army. Yeah.
That's also something made very clear in this season.
Yes. Well, I mean, and they hinted at last season with the fight between Revy and Roberta.
And Roberta, yeah.
But because that was the first time you see the whole scope of Hotel Moscow. But now you get to see them in action, and they're giving commands and going around and getting checkpoints and all that. And yeah.
And another messed up thing is, since these two children are fucked in the head, and I do, I guess, kind of respect this in a way towards the show, is they don't make the violence Hansel and Gretel commit fun. It is seen as horribly savage, even by the other characters.
Yeah, this arc is honestly really bloody and really brutal, even by Black Lagoon standards. They up the violence level for this arc.
I mean, I will admit I kind of enjoy the violence because I'm a gorehound.
Oh, so do I, absolutely. But I'm just saying, it was even for Black Lagoon, it was gorier than I remembered it, which is why I dug the hell out of it.
Like the one dude because the person who we mentioned betrays everyone, hired the kids to take a bunch of the competition out.
Yeah.
But they realize the kids are going too far when they turn someone literally into a twitching pincushion. They just hammered multiple nails into his face and keep hitting it just to watch his body twitch, even though he's already dead.
Yeah, it's fucked up, but at the same time, it's a little bit humorous, that scene.
It's humorous because you get to see the dude's horrified reaction.
Yeah.
As these two kids just talk happily about it.
Yeah, it just fucking vomits all over the place. And just yeah, that's a fair reaction to that.
Also, the kids can switch wigs and will become the other brother and or sister.
Yeah, it's weird how it is, because I don't know if they both kind of have a split personality or they share a personality. It's weird. It's really weird. Because, like they said, they're just talking and then they switch clothes. And then all of a sudden they start talking like the other person. And it's never explicitly defined who's the male and who's the female.
Actually, there's an SCP apparently. Where it's 4 people. They were all born on the same day at the same hour but on different parts of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they all think they're the same person.
Huh.
You will bring them into a room, they will see each other, yet they think they're all connected. They're all mentally one person.
So it's kind of like a hive mind.
Technically, no, because I think it says later in the reports, one of them dies, and that kind of breaks the illusion to them or whatnot.
So it's kind of implied that it's, possessed their bodies or something, and they broke the...
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. I just remember hearing somewhat about that.
Interesting.
But anyway, that's the uncomfortable shit. So Balalaika starts hunting down the kids, and so do all the other bounty hunters. But the kids are too smart for normal bounty hunters, so Balalaika is basically the only one.
Yeah.
Her and her army.
Yeah, Hotel Moscow is really the only one who have the drop on the kids. Like the other people, like all the bounty hunters from out of town and Lagoon Company, they're basically just a distraction.
Yeah. The two twins split up. One of them gets absolutely brutally murdered by fucking Balalaika.
Yep.
Who was Hansel at the time.
Mm-hmm. And it's a really fucked up death too, because as he's dying, he like switches between personalities from like the girl voice to the boy voice to the girl voice. Just
yeah, and just you watch a kid just bleed out
Yeah.
after he's shot by a 50 cal.
They blow off his fucking hand and just
And his leg, I think.
yeah, just slowly bleed out as he cries, and Balalaika just cold
We
as
admit this show's fun, we swear.
yeah, and Balalaika just cold as fucking ice, just like, oh, don't cry.
And Gretel actually, because Revi and Etta give up. Well, Revi gives up on the chase, realizing Balalaika's involved.
Yeah.
Because Balalaika is kind of like John Wick in the way of once her name's brought up, everyone knows that you can't fuck with what's going on.
Yeah, basically, you do not want to fuck with Hotel Moscow.
So Revi heads home, and Gretel was away in the shadows and holds up Etta and is like, "Yo, I'll pay you $1 million if you help me get out of here."
Yeah, so basically they pay Lagoon Company to actually get her out of there, and obviously there's a conflict of interest there, because Balalaika calls up Dutch and she's like, "Dutch, you know what you're doing, right?" He's like, "Yeah, well, it's just another job, so that's just how it is." He's like, because he's a businessman. He's like, "I was offered money, I'm doing my job." And so they have to like take this all like roundabout route, because Balalaika then sends a bunch of fucking ships to try to cut them off and kill the little girl. So
well, the ships were more just so they go to the right port, and
yeah, because
while on the ship, Rock does kind of connect with the girl, and we find out even more about their horrid backstory and how messed up in the head they are. And he gains some sympathy for her, and then as soon as they get off the boat, she gets shot in the head.
Yeah. Well, before that, Dutch has probably the coldest moment in the whole show for his character.
What is it?
Where like Rock is talking to Dutch about like why couldn't I save her, blah blah, and Dutch is like, you basically can't unfuck them. That's just what happened, and may have been able to do it a while back, but now there's nothing he can do. Or sorry, not Dutch, Benny.
I swear the show is fun.
Benny does that, but yeah, like, well, no, we said this season gets darker.
Yeah, well, this arc specifically is the darkest the show gets.
Yeah. But yeah, basically, he gets off the ship. He's like, "Oh yeah, like saying happy things," and then she just gets shot in the fucking head by an assassin.
Yeah, because Balalaika had an assassin waiting.
Yep. And then that's the end.
Anything else we have to say? And that's how that arc ends.
Well, the thing I do like about this thanks, Brain. About this arc is it does delve into like some straight up horror, which I really like, because there's a lot of really good atmosphere in this arc. Like at the beginning, it's like perpetually dark, and it's always like either raining or there's heavy fog. And there's all this fucked up shit going on. It's a really good like atmosphere, like with atmosphere and the way everything comes to a head and everything, because it doesn't really shine until the end when Balalaika horribly murders Gretel.
Yeah, and there is also that classic horror feel where you don't know what the villain is going to do.
Yeah, they're very unpredictable, and it plays with that.
Yeah, you don't know if the kids are gonna, fucking shoot everyone to shit, or they're just going to happily skip by. Mm-hmm. Like when Revi and Etta first meet, that they're just like, "Oh, you want that bounty? We have a bunch of money. You want some?"
Yeah, they straight up try to pay Etta off, which is funny. Like they see Etta $1 million, and then Etta's like, Revi, what should we do?" "Well, isn't it obvious? Shoot the fuckers, grab their bounty, and take the $1 million."
But then they don't pick up any of the money off the floor, but hey, whatever.
I don't know why the fuck they don't, because that's just like, darn it, I made nothing off of it. I'm like, the money on the ground, Edda, you could have picked it up.
I mean, yeah, sure, Hotel Moscow showed up and started shooting because Revy and Edda were fucking up their plan to lead the kids to their death.
But still, you could have, like, at least grabbed...
You could have gone back after.
Yeah, and grabbed all that cash lying there. I don't think they went back and picked it up due to the fact that they were being shot at. So it was probably just lying there.
Plus, they clearly don't care about the money, so...
Yeah. Yeah, no, overall, really good atmospheric horror arc. And just...
A really good and harsh tonal shift. Plus, also, this shows off that the season has a lot more budget towards the animation.
Yes. And it's followed up with pretty heavy tonal whiplash, honestly.
Okay, hold on, let's just crack the neck right here, and... So this arc opens up with it being a hot as fuck day. No, wait.
You almost had it.
I'm jumping ahead
You're
of
jumping
it.
ahead. It starts out with her, I think, doing her thing, yeah?
Yeah. So there's some people who are trying to make counterfeit money, but apparently they are taking too long, and the cartel, I think it is?
Yeah, one of the cartel. There's a
No,
lot.
they're Cubans.
Okay, yeah.
The Cuban cartel. I don't know if Cuba has a cartel or a mafia. Sue me.
One of the two. There, every kind of gang imaginable is probably in Rwandaper, so the answer is probably yes.
A Cuban gang is trying to print counterfeit money in Rwandaper. However, the two people brought in to print the money have been, I think, are 2 months over.
Yeah, a pretty good amount of time over.
And a lot over budget. So then the genius of the operation fucking shoots one of them, which then kind of screws the whole thing because now they don't have their top programmer.
I think you realize during this too, it's like, yeah, you're losing money right now, but you're literally printing money.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much money you lose. You're going to literally print money.
Yeah. You're literally printing money, and you just shot the guy who can program it, so now it's going to take longer. Good job.
Well, no, now it can't be done at all.
Yeah, because he had... Look,
do you remember what the... Oh, is it Jane?
Greenback Jane.
Yeah, Greenback Jane. And Jane, who likes to put the camera under her skirt a lot, realizes she's kind of fucked.
Yeah.
And tries to run.
So yeah, they tell her basically to finish it, but she decides, you know what? No, I've had enough of this shit, and breaks out because the one guy goes to take a leak or use the bathroom in some way. She locks him in there, takes the fucking computer, bashes the one guy in the head, possibly murdering him, and just runs away with everything.
I mean, she dropped a computer on his head. He's probably dead.
I think he's dead. But yeah, she grabs everything, runs, and she runs away.
And hold on. Now let's cut to the ripoff church where Revy wakes up, hungover, realizing in her drunken haze she shot her AC on the hottest fucking day.
I love that moment.
So she goes to the ripoff church and drinks with Edda, but the AC there is also broken. So now both are tired and the heat is fucking killing them. And all of a sudden Jane shows up at their front door asking for help.
Yeah, so she's being chased. She's asking for help. Obviously, she's like, it's a church, isn't it? She should take refugees, and they're turning her away and stuff. But guess who's following?
The Cubans, who immediately try to shoot up the place. Hold on, Cameron.
Yeah?
We are going to go a bit faster. We'll come back to this.
Come back to what?
This scene.
Why are we taking
the summary done, and then we'll come back here.
Okay.
But after a nice little shootout, they hear out Jane, mostly because they want someone to pay for all the damages to the church due to the bullet.
Edda gives her some advice. Is like, oh yeah, stay at this hotel. You
know? Well, if you're not going to pay us $1 million, then you can just go. You can go hide out in this hotel, and they'll never find you.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, aren't you being a bit generous? He's like, hey, it's not free. Give me $300. And Revy figures out, wait a minute, you're being a bit too generous. Yes, that's because I have a plan.
And that plan is she tells the Cubans exactly where Jane is, and they go to try to get Jane, but it was the wrong room, and Jane escapes her hotel room and surprisingly meets up with Revy, Rock, and Etta. Also, I should mention that the Cubans kind of hired every good mercenary in town to try and kill Jane.
Yeah.
So we get Chinglish back, and, well, that's actually all we recognize, and a fucking boatload of other people.
Boatload of new assassins, a very colorful cast of villains.
A colorful, goofy cast. And the most badass one, Wizard.
Yeah, there's 4 people that are distinct besides Chinglish. There's the cowboy guy who was hired by the, I think the Cuban leader to kind of gather them together. There's there's Spooky, the girl with the chainsaw who does the body cleanup usually.
A girl who can't talk because her throat was slit, so she has a voice box and carries a chainsaw.
Yeah, and no one recognized her because she's always in, like, medical garb.
And then she's usually cleanup for other people.
Yeah, and then there's the clean cut guy looks like a dad or something, but he uses fire to burn down everything. And then
he has a lighter that works like a flamethrower, basically.
And then there's the best character, Wizard,
who's a complete badass, and we shall not talk anymore about it.
We'll talk about it later after we finish the summary. Yeah.
But so Jane, luckily, through divine intervention, finds Etta, Revy, and Rock sitting in a car in the alleyway, totally not knowing that she would come down that way.
I see what you did there through divine intervention. I get it.
I don't. But basically, Etta's like, yo, give us $1 million and we'll save your life. Yeah. If not, good luck.
So sly about it. Oh, I see you're out for a midnight jog. Isn't it a little late?
So of course Jane says yes because there's a fucking army after her, and they head to the dock where but the Lagoon boat usually is.
Yeah.
I say usually because currently Dutch and Benny are on a quick job, which completely fucks Etta's plan.
Etta's like, oh no, the most important part of the plan where you just get on the ship and go away. It's fucked now. So of course this gives the assassins time to catch up with them, and they have a big old shootout.
They have really awesome battle, which ends with the entire dock house collapsing, but luckily Dutch gets there on time, and they escape.
Yeah.
Jane gets the file she needed, Benny gets Bay gets some tail, and the arc ends.
Yeah. So yeah, Greenback Jane is much later in tone than the previous arc, and starts out, besides when like the Cubans kill the guy, starts out pretty hilarious.
I mean, even the killing is played a bit lighthearted. Yeah, honestly,
it is. It's a lot lighter of a tone, and the fucking church scene is great. It's one of my favorite moments because they end up shooting. I think it's like a warning bullet, or like they open the door and then the bullet goes through the door, and Revy's drinking, and then all of a sudden it hits her glass, shatters her glass, and in a fit of rage, her and Etta start shooting at them.
And then one guy just randomly comes out with a fucking, like, MG42 or something.
And they just start shooting up the place. They're all like, whoa, whoa, whoa. They're like, no, fuck you. And they're all shooting up the place. And then the head nun comes out. She's like, oh, what are you doing? You're making a mess and blah, blah, blah. And then pulls out a giant golden gun that fires explosives.
A golden Desert Eagle.
That fires explosives for some reason. And they just annihilate this gang. It's great.
Who retreat, because when it's the beginning of a arc, no one is allowed to die.
Yeah. Well, a bunch of them do die, but none of them.
Yeah, but those are red shirts, so no one cares.
Yeah. That's a great scene. But yeah, this arc overall is just much, much later in tone, and it's a really fun time. You were gonna say?
And I was going to say, just, the fight scenes are generally fucking fun, especially the warehouse of how everything gets worse and worse.
Yeah. Also, Revy starts to have some great one-liners.
Yeah.
There's 2 that I can remember. Where Ed is just like, oh yeah, there's an arrow on the ceiling pointing her to go out the window, and Revy's just like...
You got cut off, so I didn't hear it.
Hold on. There's a... Where, like, because during the whole time Ed is explaining, like, oh, I'm just leading them this way, like, I'd put her in the next room, and then there's signs telling her where to go, and Revy's just like, great plan, look up, look down, good job, you're a jackass.
No, because, great, yeah, listen to graffiti, look up, look down, you're a jackass.
Yeah. And then the end too, where she's talking about the liquor, and she's like, "All you have is beer," and like she comments on the liquor and stuff. She's like, "You better not touch that, or I'll take one of those beers and shove it up your ass."
Oh yeah, because she wants some of Dutch's.
Yeah.
Just the whole warehouse thing, because not only do you have people shooting outside, you have Jinglish at the window, you have Spoopy with the chainsaw.
Yep, going after
chasing Rock.
Rock and Jane.
And you have the fucking weird ass guy burning up the dock below.
Yep.
Oh wait, I did forget to mention something, because some of the assassins do get on the boat.
Yeah, at the end, but they managed to fight them off, and
they fight them off. But we do find out Etta is actually a CIA agent.
Yeah.
This never comes up again.
Nope, never mentioned again.
Well, am I in the OVA?
I think it is in the OVA, yes, but
it's referenced like once or twice in the OVA, but that's about it.
Yeah, we find out that she's actually a CIA agent because the main,
or was
because the main it's never clear whether she's still on a job or not. But like the main cowboy guy, because he's from the U.S., he recognizes her from like a party at Langley or something like that. So,
yeah.
But in one of the most over the top and coolest death scenes, in this, well, I guess. Just like more of a moment where she's fighting off the fire guy because they killed everyone else, and like they do the trick where she like hangs on the boat, they swing it around, he flies up in the air, and she's like, "Yeah, you're a rocket man, baby!" Shoots him, and he just fucking explodes.
Oh yeah, because he pulls the flamethrower out of fucking nowhere, shoots him right in the back, and then free her.
I fucking love it. It's a great one-liner, and just boom, just like yeah. Oh,
and then of course there was the moment with Wizard. Because, okay, the whole place started burning down due to the Pyro Dad in back.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call him Pyro Dad.
He's basically Pyro Dad.
Everyone is on the roof at the moment, and the building collapses, so they're sliding down. And Wizard is standing on top of this tower. It's like, it has a big, long, dramatic speech. Is about to pull out his gun, and then Revy just shoots him once and he falls.
Because Wizard in the show is a parody of, like, main characters from, like a stereotype main character from anime.
Just having this long-winded speech of a long trench coat being a complete bang.
And he's just like, he does the stereotypical line of like, I don't want to fight you, but I have no choice. And then he's like going through this, and just like, Revy's like, bang, and just falls over.
She didn't even like aim for him. It seemed more like an accident.
Yeah. It's a great scene. Because Wizard's more of a minor character in this. He comes back in the OVA, thankfully. But
he does.
But
and he makes a really cool entrance.
Yeah, he's one of the most enjoyable characters just because of how well it's of the parody is. I love it. We love Wizard. Wizard's great.
I'm gonna see how quickly I can summarize the final arc of this season, because it's the longest arc in the show of 6 episodes if you don't count the OVA.
Because in the first season, how many arcs were there? Like 4, 5, maybe.
There's 4.
There's 4 because there's the opening arc, the
Nazi arc, Roberta, and the jungle.
Yeah, and the jungle, but. Yeah, in this one, there's only 3 arcs because it leaves more room for the final arc, which is 6 episodes long instead of the normal 3 in the show. And this covers a lot, so I'll let Justin have at it.
I'm going to try to summarize it quickly. There is a simple way to have it. Balalaika goes to Japan to deal with the Yakuza. Rock and Revy are brought along because Rock can translate English to Japanese. And Revy is there to be his bodyguard. Balalaika's plan is just kill basically all the Yakuza and start to take over.
Yeah.
That's at least the lower level Yakuza.
Mm-hmm.
One of them being the Washing Machine Clan. That's not the proper way to say it, but I'm going to call them the Washing Machine Clan.
Because how it's pronounced is the Washiname Clan, but... Just easier.
Yeah, washing machine.
It's just easier to remember washing machine.
It is. But there is also a jackass who is clearly going to try and kill them later. Which they even point out, yeah, he's probably going to pull his gun on us later.
Yeah, the way this show points out cliches is great like that.
It's fun, but it isn't the whole winking at the camera sort of way.
No, they are aware that they're making fun of the cliche, but they do it in such a way that's not like it doesn't break your immersion.
Yeah. But trying to figure out how to say this correctly. Because Rock and Revy run into these two people, Genji and Yukio?
Yeah.
I want to say her name was?
Correct, Yukio.
Yes. And of course it turns out Yukio and Genji are part of the Washing Machine clan, but Rock doesn't know that yet.
Yep.
The Washing Machine clan immediately starts to fall apart because Balalaika's army is fucking scary.
Just like Balalaika herself, Army is fucking scary.
Yeah, she is terrifying this arc.
I
and
love it.
Oh, okay. We're going to gush about this arc for a good while, so I'll just wait. But brain, come on. Stick with me here. But Dickbat... Oh, okay, hold on. No. You need to take a few steps back.
Okay. Sorry, just starting out with but Dickbag.
The head of the Washing Machine clan goes and tries to fight Balalaika. This does not go well.
Yeah.
And Yukio, so her family's legacy doesn't die, steps up as leader, because she's the only one really related by blood.
Yep.
And after doing this, Dickbag from earlier kidnaps her, and Rock, Revy, and Genji all team up to go kill him. They do. But Yukio has kind of made her choice at that point to take up the role as leader, even though Rock kind of wanted to stop her.
Mm-hmm.
So Balalaika continues with her plan, which causes Yukio to cause her gang to disband because she wants to try a rebuild in Roanapur after killing Balalaika. This does not go well.
Much like with anyone who tries to go up against Balalaika, this does not go well. You can basically
This
say
does not
that.
go well. Balalaika finishes up her work, and Rock is like, hey, could you, just get rid of the Washing Machine clan without killing everyone, so that way she might have a chance at a normal life? And Balalaika is just kind of cocky and says, guess what, Rocky boy? She already did it, so I have nothing left to do. Later.
Well, no, the initial plan starting out was Rock's initial trying to convince her was to be like, why go after the clan? They're already disbanded. He was just going to try and convince her to stop going after the clan altogether.
But Balalaika likes war.
Yeah, she likes war, and she knows his alternative, and we'll talk about that scene later. But I'm just saying that was his initial strategy before switching over to what he says later.
Yeah. And she basically says to Rock, just go tell her the thing's over. I'm sure it will work out great.
Yep.
It doesn't.
A lot of that in this arc.
Yeah, that describes this show a lot. It's just like, we need to do this thing. This does not go well.
Pretty much.
Because while going to try and find them, Genji and Yukio do find Rock and Revy and hit them with a truck.
Like you do.
Because they want to use Rock to get them to Roanapur.
Yeah, they basically put Revy in a corner and kidnap Rock and force him to...
But Revy catches up. They have Genji and Revy have a sick-ass duel, and after Revy wins, because main character powers,
Yep.
Yukio kills herself and everything goes back to normal, and it's fine. It's totally
Kind of, yeah.
fine.
There's no turning point for Rock or anything. It's fine.
Okay, so with this arc, everything is fucking gorgeous because it's Japan in winter.
anytime, like most of the time, I'm trying to think here.
Come on,
Let me
pick
think of
one
how
or the
to
other.
words. Hold on. I think it works in both ways. Like, because I was gonna say like anytime an anime does snow, but then I remember just like bad animes. But for the most part,
I've never seen bad anime
I haven't
in
either.
snow.
But whenever anime does snow, it's just so beautifully done, and it's just gorgeous to look at.
And most of this arc takes place at night, and you just get these beautiful shadows and
yeah,
and shading, and just the glow from the city is honestly kind of breathtaking.
the way they do the lighting is fantastic because it looks very realistic, but it's still animated because there's little things I noticed that just added to it. Like, I think one of them's looking at a monitor and like it's like a glow, but then there's a little flash of like purple color and then it goes back to white. I'm like, that was a nice touch, that color change. And there's another one where like there was a shootout, or no, yeah, it was in the bowling alley, but then there was a light bulb that was kind of going out, so there was like this flickering light, but it wasn't like a strobe light, it was like a light going out, and I was like, God, it's a nice touch. Just the lighting is so well done in this.
And the absolute intimidating light on Balalaika, where it just gets her one eye glowing, and the rest of it is in shadow except for her lips, and it's just so fun.
It's awesome because there's another terrifying shot I noticed that where like she throws a guy onto a car and her hair is just covering one of her eyes and the other eye is just like open staring at him and she's grinning. I was like, oh, it looks so cool and scary. Oh my god, just again,
this one tonal wise goes back to what Black Lagoon was good at, except maybe a bit more serious.
Yeah, because there are moments of fun and there's some jokes thrown in there, but this is an overall more serious arc. And
that isn't bothersome in any
no,
way.
it's
I
not.
should say
The tone in this one is very good. It's very well balanced. What else is there to say?
Excuse me.
You're good. You'll have to excuse us. We're recording this at like almost.
Yeah, it's almost 1 in the morning by me.
I had something. I forget what it was.
This arc in general, you get a very good feel for where everyone is standing as a character.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This arc delves way more into character development. Like this is the last arc, so they delve a lot into the characters' minds and like Revy and Rock's motivations and how Revy in this arc has changed as a character. Like her overall attitude towards Rock and everything is much nicer. You know, much more like they're pals and stuff. And you see a little bit.
I should also mention this. Canonically speaking, is a year after the show started.
Yes. Yeah, it's been a year already. Rock's been with Lagoon Company for a year. But yeah,
I just feel that's slightly important.
it is. Because they delve into like Rock's minds, where he stands, why he's doing all this, and then into Revy's mind again, whose attitude has changed, and what her relationship with Rock really means, basically.
Yeah, because well, there's one really good scene before in the middle, where Rock saves Yukio and is waiting out in the because well, it's not a bowling alley; it's more of a I forget what those places are called, and I can't think of it.
Yeah, it's like almost like the mall near you, where like it's a mall.
Not a mall. It's damn it! I
mean.
can't think of what these places are called. Where you can do multiple activities like play basketball, go swimming, go bowling, whatever.
Yeah, like Chuck E. Cheese or something like that.
Or it's almost like a YMCA, but with bowling.
Yeah.
A community center, I think.
I think that is the right term.
I think that's the word I'm looking for.
But I imagine like a game show, like do and that's right.
But they're sitting in a closet waiting for Revy and Genji to finish up killing everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a conversation with Yukio and you can quickly see it's him talking in a mirror in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
because she was also a person who had a normal life, but is now going into this dark world of crime and murder and just savagery.
Yeah, and
And he's trying to convince her this wasn't a choice. She was dragged into it, but she can leave.
and and both their motivations, I love that argument, because Rock's like, basically like, you can leave at any time, and she makes up the point of like, no, I didn't have a choice, because she has an opportunity now to set things right and protect the one she loves, and just basically make an attempt to stop Balalaika from murdering all of them. And that's the main source of contention between this, is Rock is working for Hotel Moscow, who's trying to eliminate the Washiname clan, and Rock's working for her, and therefore that technically makes them enemies. But it's like, I don't feel like I have a choice. Like, you chose this life, but I don't feel like I have a choice. And then she calls out Rock on, what are his motivations. It's like, you just did this because you want a change of pace and all that. It's like, what would you have done given the opportunity? You didn't go back.
Yeah, and points out how even though he's technically joined this world crime, he's still in the middle. He can't fucking choose.
Exactly. He can't choose. He's still in what they call the Twilight. So
Twilight, on the fence, whatever you want to call it.
Basically, he's on the fence, and he hasn't chosen whether he wants to live in the world that, they're in right now. Like, he's gotten another taste of his homeland. It's the first time he's visited in a while. And it's like, you have do you want this life, or do you want the life of, Lagoon Company? What do you want? You can't have both.
However, Rock does not listen to this advice and tries to stay in the mill when confronting Balalaika for the first time of this arc.
I fucking love that scene when he tries to confront her the first time.
Because he tries to basically tell her, yo, stop being so blood hungry. Don't kill everyone.
Yeah, she's
Balalaika does not like being told this.
You don't have to go after the Washiname clan. They're already broken up and all that. Why even try? And then because that's the thing. And I love Balalaika, this arc, because throughout the show she's always been entertaining, but she's always been scary too. But they've never actually shown her straight up going after someone. They've showed bits and pieces. But
we saw her go after the vampire twins.
Yes.
But that was the most we saw.
Yeah. But here it's like we actually see her motivation, and she is such a cool ass character and such a badass, but at the same time she is scary. If you go on YouTube and look up Balalaika, there's literally a YouTube compilation just called "Damn Balalaika, You Scary."
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But and something else comes out during this moment because Revi pulls out her gun and also aims at Balalaika's bodyguard.
They kind of have a little bit of a Mexican standoff, because she pulls Rock and throws him down. Revi pulls out her pistols. The bodyguard pulls out his pistols and points that at Revi.
And Balalaika brings up something which is talked about after this encounter. Mm-hmm. Revi kind of thinking Rock is a ray of hope that she can have a normal life.
Yeah, because she calls out Rock on a couple of things, but then she turns around, she's like, I have something to say to you, Two Hands, and points out what Justin just pointed out. And she kind of admits it. She's like, I get what you're saying, let's just move on.
Yeah, because Rock asked to go. He tried to go home once and didn't go, and no one was home apparently. Mm-hmm. We don't know if that's 100% true. There could have been someone home and he just didn't care to knock.
Yeah.
But they go back to this park, and they're just and there's this really nice moment where they're having a heart-to-heart, where Rock does choose to stay in the criminal world, but Revi at the beginning is admitting that she will never be able to have a life like this.
Yep.
She almost forgot that the only way she knew how to live was guns, alcohol, and murder. But no matter what she does, she knows for a fact it won't happen.
Yeah. And she's very protective of Rock too. Like she even says she's going to leave him at one point just because she wants him to have a normal life.
Yeah, she did want to try and just leave him with a normal life so he doesn't get trapped
Yeah.
like she has.
Yep. She's like, yeah, there's still an opportunity for him to try to live a normal life, and I think that would be best for him. Obviously, she doesn't say this to him because she's Revy, and that's not really her personality, but she secretly really cares about Rock.
And also, that their relationship is shown a bit more in this season, where even though she yells at him like right after Balalaika, it's not like a calm down, two men. That's the name of it. I think that was
that's the episode with the argument.
Okay.
Yeah, Calm Down Two Men.
It's not like Calm Down Two Men where it takes 15 minutes of arguing back and forth. She yells at him maybe twice and then chills out.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I love that moment. She's like, Rock, you're being a little bit of a bitch right now. And he's just like, what?
Well, I mean after Balalaika.
Oh, after Balalaika. That was after Balalaika, wasn't it?
No,
that was before he was hung
Stop
up.
trying to get yourself fucking killed.
Yes. Yeah, stop trying to get. Yeah, she's like, yeah, I can protect you. I could stand up.
I can get you through the Alamo, but I can't protect you against fucking her.
Yeah. No. Well, she said I can't protect someone who's trying so damn hard to get themselves killed, basically.
Which is also a really good fucking.
Which is a good what?
Fucking line.
It is. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like she cares about Rock. She wants to protect him, and
it's also Benny and Dutch show up for like 2 minutes.
I don't even think they're worth noting because they just talk to Dutch on the phone about various things, and then Dutch.
No, they don't. They only talk to Benny.
Or Benny. Sorry, I'm confusing them this episode. I'm sorry. They talk to Benny on the phone, and then Benny comes up, and Dutch shows up for like a minute, and then that's it. Maybe a minute and a half because he appears a bit at the end too, but they're hardly even worth noting, honestly. Just besides the fact
I wanted to note how little they were there, though.
Yeah, it's interesting because
actually just this whole season they're hardly in it.
Yeah, that's true. It is a very Rock, Revy, and other side characters focused, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they do play a bigger role in the other episodes, but they're more minor in this one. You're right. They're never really all together in this, are they?
They only at the end of Jane.
Yeah.
Greenback Jane's arc.
And at the beginning of the Vampire when they were sitting in the office talking. That's about it. They don't. Yeah. There aren't really any jobs together. And then the ending, of Greenback Jane. And then in this arc, they just literally take a back seat. Like the only thing that they do is Benny smuggles in Revy's guns to Japan. That's the only plot point. That's the only plot relevance.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else on this arc, because I didn't realize all the story elements, and also that whole thing of Revy talking about wanting the life Rock had. We're gonna bring that up next time, because we're going to get angry. But that's for next time.
That's a discussion for another day, because the way they describe Rock's situation and his relationship with Revy and Revy's relationship with Rock at the same time, the way they bring that up and discuss it and talk about his motivations, everything is really well done, and it adds to just immensely to how deep this arc gets when it comes to that.
And with season 2 as a whole, because I mentioned this at the beginning, the reason I think it's such a roller coaster or such hard shifts in tone is because the manga is still going. This was the end for the show, but the manga kept going, and I think the author wanted to show like how far each way this show can go. It can get this dark, and it can get this fun.
Because we were trying to decide at the opening, because there was huge tonal whiplash between the first two arcs. We were trying to decide if it was a bad thing or a good thing. Like, it's a little bit off-putting because it is tonal whiplash, but at the same time, we can see what they were maybe trying to do with like this. Like you said, this is how dark we can get. This is how lighthearted we're going to get. This sets the tone for what's going to come ahead in the season.
I personally don't mind if someone told me, season 2 gets too tonally deaf. I would understand as well.
Yeah.
Still fucking love this show though.
Yeah, we're not saying it is a hard tonal shift between the first two arcs. We're not saying like, oh, it's inconsistent all over the place. No, it's not. It's still very well done. Within the arcs themselves, the tone is very consistent. It's just combined together, it's a little weird.
Seeing through the series as a whole, it gets weird.
Yeah, but the arcs themselves stand out fine. Totally, they're all consistent.
And the thing I love about Black Lagoon is every time I watch, there's always some little detail,
Yeah.
intentional or not, that I notice.
Yeah, it's one of the most rewatchable shows just because it's so fucking fun and it's just so well done that it's endlessly entertaining, but it is one that like you can watch multiple times and still pick up a bunch of stuff. It's brilliant. The little details. And again, that's because the reason that we theorize why Black Lagoon doesn't get as much attention is because people think, oh, it's just action, fun action show. But there's more to it than that. Every time you watch it, you'll pick up something more on characters, and for a show that's so heavily action-based and, over the top, it has such subtle character development, and brilliantly so. The way it's executed is great.
I was gonna try and make a joke there, like, but no, we gotta talk about this. But I honestly don't feel like throwing jabs at Attack on Titan.
It's too
I'm
easy.
trying to think if there's anything else in this arc as a whole.
I don't know. Because we've discussed the synopsis, we've discussed the animation gets a big upgrade. Soundtrack still obviously great. Not much has changed. It's just, yeah, we've discussed pretty much everything about the arc, unless you can think of something else.
The dialogue is still snappy at times, snappy when it needs to be.
Still very well written and still very.
The humor
consistent.
is pretty top notch.
Yeah.
Again, when it needs to be.
Yeah. Like I said, within the arcs themselves, the tone is great. It's well written, well executed. Everything is just done so brilliantly.
I'm trying to think if there was any character moments in the Vampire Twins arc.
If they were, they didn't last long.
Yeah, because it was more about the twins there.
Yeah, like they got pretty much equal screen time with Revy Rock and all the side characters. The Vampire Twins did.
There wasn't much learned there except Rock becoming a bit more accepting of the world he is in.
Yeah. Him becoming more accepting of the world he's in, and Edda making Revy jealous.
Yeah.
Intentionally so. I think it's the first time we see her in her street clothes, and she looks like a fucking hooker.
She looks like a whore.
She does. Still has those rockin' sunglasses, though, at night.
Yeah, of course she does. Because she needs to hide those CIA eyes.
Yep. I love how he doesn't recognize her with the glasses on. So it's like Superman puts on the glasses. Nope, no idea who you are. Takes them off. Wait a minute.
I mean, before, to be fair, she was in a nun outfit.
Yeah, she was in a nun outfit. Yeah, that's true. But
yeah, I think that's season 2.
yeah, it's a great end to a great show. Honestly.
Well, it would have been the end, but luckily we got a bit more funding to, return to a certain character.
Yes. And it's great. But yeah, this was like, and the thing is, how long was it between the show and the OVA? Was it a good couple years, or?
I do not know.
Yeah, because obviously this was the end of the series. We didn't know if it'd get renewed or not, or whatever, but we did get a slight continuation of the OVA, which is basically season 3. Yeah, it ran from...
it came out in 2010, 2011, and I think the show came out in, like... when
it was 06. 06...
yeah, so about 4 years later.
Okay, yeah. So it was 4 years later, so...
That's a quite long time. Well, Then again, the manga does take multiple hiatuses. I think right now they're finally coming back again.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a good 4 years between. But yeah, like if this was to be the show's ending, it's a great ending of the show. Very, very well done. Again, thankfully we did get more, but we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Well, actually, for a show, like, this ending is still... It's satisfying in that way of maybe not all questions are answered, but you want to see more of the world.
But
yet
it's not like
enough has been wrapped up to be satisfying.
Yeah. It's not like they ripped you off, and yeah, but like you said, nothing's wrapped up, and they have that little post-credit scene that kind of nicely wraps everything up.
Which one? The one where Rock is sent the slap in the face,
yes,
or
that
where
one.
Revy gets kind of pissy about Edda asking if she fucked Rock?
Both. I'm saying both. They have that wrapping up both those characters. They totally boned, which is funny.
I mean, well, with how drunk Revy gets sometimes.
I still love that scene where it just opens up. She's hungover. She's like, "Oh God, I have a huge fucking headache," and there's just bullet holes all over the fucking place.
Oh, I really wonder what she was doing in her drunken haze.
I don't even know if I want. I don't even know if I want to be anywhere near her when she's in a drunken haze. If I'm being perfectly honest.
Yeah, the only thing she can hit is an AC. I think you're fine.
No, because there were bullet holes all around the room too, not just on the AC.
Yeah, she was missing something.
What that something is, we don't know. Was it a terrified stranger? I have no idea.
There was probably a moth.
Yeah, right?
I'm gonna shoot your wings off.
I can just the things you can imagine are great. Knowing Revy. But yeah, anything else, or should we... Yeah.
Oh.
I'm saying anything else, or should we wrap it up?
I think that's all I really have to say on season 2. If we think of anything else, the OVA is only 6 episodes, so we should be...
We'll finish that in one sitting and then talk about it.
Yeah, well, we'll probably talk about the day after, because sitting through something that's like 3 hours, then immediately talking about it.
Well, 2.5, but yeah.
2.5.
It's 5 episodes. Shorter than this arc.
Meh.
Meow.
What movie's next? I think we're...
Let me check. I have the list right here.
We either just did Django, or we're getting the one... We're either doing Django, or we just did Django.
We just did Django. So Dread's up next.
Okay, so next is Dread, then we finish off Black Lagoon, and then we're going to get back to Hannibal.
Yep.
So
we're excited for that. We're excited to see where the fuck this goes. And then after we finish season 2, we can finally spin the wheel. I've
had a real itch, man.
It's been a lot, because we recorded I don't know if we said this on the air, but when I was over with Justin, we recorded literally all 8 of those in a row. So we haven't been able to spin
we recorded all those in July. I haven't spun a wheel since.
Because we haven't been able to spin a wheel for the movies, and because we spun the wheel for Hannibal, like after we did season 1, but then we're going right back to it. So it's been a good long while since he's been able to spin the wheel.
So many wheel spins I could have had.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, you did technically.
I want to spin the wheel.
All the movie ones, you did spin the wheel technically. So in between episodes, you'll.
I haven't.
I know, and I'm sorry.
I need to spin the wheel.
I'll make you. We'll get you a wheel. Don't worry. We'll be able to spin the wheel. We have to wrap this up, Justin. We have to wrap it up first.
Okay, then just cut to black now.
Black? Not even the credits? Just black?
Well, I mean, it cuts to black and then it says thanks for watching, so...
Yeah, but hear the...